Hello everyone, welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Hannah if you're new here. And I am technically still on the clock for work, but I am taking a little break to film this tiny little clip that says, welcome to this vlog. I want to do a week reading vlog. Normally I do like a weekend, and the reason I typically do that is because I can sneaky do updates when my husband isn't around, or, you know, around me in a particular moment. I can go outside or whatever. And we're gonna face our fears and vlog in front of our husband if he's okay with that, as long as he's not like in the video. So I want to show you like what I do during the day, during the evenings. Now that it's spring and things are growing and I want to get back into my garden and all that sort of stuff, and how I read during the week versus on the weekend. So let's talk about what I've got. I am halfway through The Starless Sea by Erin Morgenstern. I'm reading this for the Our Fantasy Bingo Reading Challenge, and I won't get into it, but I'm not loving it. 57% in, but because I'm reading for a challenge, I am kind of pushing through it, which is kind of going against my whole I'm trying to learn to put down books more when I'm not enjoying them, but you win some, you lose some. So I'm gonna finish this audiobook. I also have 2 ebooks on the docket. I have a graphic novel, Nimona. I've never read this. There's now a movie about it, and it's very popular, so it's about superhero-esque, and it looks cute, and I really like N.D. Stevenson and their art style, so I've got that. It's a pretty short, quick read. And then I also got Through the Storm, is that what that's called, by Beverly Jenkins. I wanted to return to Beverly Jenkins. I read a bunch of Beverly Jenkins like back to back like 2 years ago, and there were like a couple I really enjoyed. Rebel by Beverly Jenkins is one of my favorite romances of all time. And then I read a couple of duds, and so I decided to put her down for a bit, and I'm back, baby. And so I have this as an ebook, and so we're just gonna read and we're gonna finish our work day, and I'll take you along for my evenings. And my primary goal for this vlog is to read these 3 books, or finish these 3 books, and we'll see how long that takes me. Whether it be a couple days, a whole week, who knows. Hopefully before the weekend. Today is currently Tuesday. We'll see how it goes. Good girl. Let's go to the gazebo. Yeah, lead the way. If anything else needs water, you might.
That's right.
Hello. It's actually Wednesday. I am driving home from work. I didn't update last night, but I did show you what I got up to while I was reading and doing other things. So I did manage to finish The Starless Sea by Erin Morgenstern, and this didn't have the same magic to me that The Night Circus did. I think what I can say about this is that it's strange. It's a story within a story within a story that deals with time loops and magical realism. And if that sounds interesting to you, I'd say go for it. This is beautifully written. But this book is just vibes. And for some reason, The Night Circus, which is also just vibes, worked. And for me, this one just didn't have the same charm that The Night Circus did. I was bored. I was frustrated. I did like how gay it was, which is great. I just wasn't compelled by that one, unfortunately. So this was a 2-star read for me. Tonight is a soccer game Minnesota United is playing, so I'm probably not going to be doing much reading, but I did start both the graphic novel Nimona and Through the Storm, and I read the first chapter of Through the Storm. I'm liking it so far. We're just establishing our main character, Sable, who is escaping, running away from her masters. She's a former slave, and we haven't even met the hero, the love interest yet. So still very early days, but I'm enjoying it. I really think Beverly Jenkins' writing is very readable, and yeah. And then Nimona, I started a couple chapters, and it's cute.
It's anybody's match to snag the 3 points at this point.
No. Good job.
Out in back for Fagundes.
It is Thursday, and I'm not feeling super great today. I actually feel like in my body worse than I did on Monday when I had to take PTO because I had a terrible insomnia the last couple of nights before that. So I took PTO on Monday, and today I feel worse, but for different reasons. So I was at the office this morning, and then I decided to finish my day at home because I didn't have any meetings and I don't feel good. So we're home again. Minnesota United tied the LA Galaxy last night, 2-2. It was a pretty good game overall. We played pretty good. There was a lot of back and forth. A couple of our players made some pretty dumb mistakes, though, and I think that we were too hasty sometimes. Not that you care about my soccer commentary, but I had a good time. Yesterday, I also managed to read 25% of Through the Storm, and I haven't actually told you what this is about. So this is a historical romance featuring a Black man who is a general in the Union Army and a Black woman who, at the beginning of the book, escapes slavery, and she is mixed. Her father is a slave, was her owner, her slave owner. Her grandmother was an African queen who was brought over, and so Sable is her name, has a royal ancestry in her, and so at the beginning of the story, she runs away from her owners to the Union Army, and there she meets General Raymond Levesque. And now Raymond Levesque is the brother of Drake Levesque, who is the main character in Rebel. And I love Rebel. So this is Raymond and Sable's love story. And I'm enjoying it, but I do think Raymond is very pushy and kind of, he's not necessarily an alpha male, but he's got a little bit of like, oh, I'm jealous of you talking to other men even though we're not in a relationship, kind of territorial vibes, which typically isn't my favorite romance hero, but I think in general I'm enjoying Sable enough as a character, and I think the love story will, oh my gosh, excuse me, the love story will grow on me, I think. So I'm having a good time. I read a little bit on my lunch break today because I had to eat alone today, and yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. I gotta do a couple more work tasks and then I'm gonna lay down for the night. I already did a walk, so good on me for keeping up with my exercise even when I don't feel good. But we're gonna take it easy tonight. I took it easy last night, but I don't know, I just really don't feel very well. Good morning. It is Friday morning and I am driving into the office on a Friday. Ugh. I just want to let you know I completed my book last night. Sorry you can't really see me. I don't have a phone holder, my bad. Finished my book last night and it was really good, except I find Beverly Jenkins has a formula and sticks to it, and her characters, to me, the men have flaws that they have to overcome and like improve on, and then the women are kind of perfect already, which I don't know, it's just a little shallow to me. Like the women are like too good. Like our main character in this one, Sable, is like, she's a former slave and she has queen, you know, her grandmother was a queen of Africa, and she's super sweet and nice and she's willing to put in hard work, and after the war she takes care of all of the war orphans and starts her own orphanage. Like, she's almost too good of a character, and she doesn't have like any flaws. Her only flaw, I guess, is that she kind of talks back to her husband, but like it's seen as a good thing, so like it's not really even a flaw that she has to like overcome. So I had a good time, but is it the most in-depth? No. Or like characteristically complex? I'd say no, but it is a good time. And I ended up giving this one like 4 stars. Like, I really liked it. I think I will continue reading Beverly Jenkins. I just might like take breaks because they are all the books I've read are very similar. Like, they have the same formula. Hello everyone. I have my lunch. It is 3:30. I did have lunch at work, but it was a tiny portion, and so I'm gonna have my lunch salad for my post-work snack. It's just lettuce, tomato, cucumber, carrot, turkey, and ham with chunks of provolone with balsamic. And this time Ryan added celery. I'm not loving the celery, but I'll eat it. Anyway, I think I'm gonna end this vlog. It is Friday late afternoon at this point. And I finished the two books. And let's talk about Nimona. And I don't think this is a bad story, but the story with like what is this graphic novel's deal? This was originally published as a webcomic and was then published traditionally, the whole collection in graphic novel format, and then it's now been adapted into a movie. Awesome. My thing is, I am reading this digitally on an ebook I'm digitally reading this on my iPad, which isn't the biggest screen. I don't know. It's hard to gauge size, but it's about this big. I mean, it's not small, but it's not huge either. And I'm actually having a hard time reading this graphic novel because the words are so small in the text bubbles for the characters that I'm like having actually a genuinely hard time reading this. So I think I read like, I think this is about 200 and some odd pages, 220 pages, and I'm like 80 pages in. And like, I think I can't read any more of it. One, it's young adult, and I've been steering, you know, away from young adult for a long time now. And the other, like, the readability issues is just, I'm just not having a good time. So I think I'm just gonna give up. Like, I know that's kind of a lame ending to this vlog, but like, I'm not having a good time. So let's just call it a day. So I haven't even taken a bite. It's good. In this vlog, I read almost the entirety of Starless Sea by Erin Morgenstern. Unfortunately, I really didn't like this. This is like 2 stars or less than 2 stars. I usually reserve my 1 stars for books that actively do harm and offend me. And this one didn't harm, doesn't, I think, have any like problematic elements, didn't offend me. I just disliked it so much that I want to give it a 1 star. Does that make sense? That's not a good sign. Anyway, let's keep going. And then I read Through the Storm by Beverly Jenkins. This is a historical romance featuring Black main characters in the South during the Civil War and just after the Civil War. And I liked it. I think when I talked to you last, I was, you know, I enjoyed this book. I think I said I gave it 4 stars. I think it's more like a 3.5, 4 stars, because I think I mentioned this in the car this morning that I find Beverly Jenkins, her characters are not flawed. Like they're almost too perfect. Specifically her female main characters. So it feels a little shallow. But it doesn't mean the story isn't enjoyable. I just don't think I enjoyed it as much as I typically enjoy romancing featuring characters that have flaws and either overcome those flaws or acknowledge their flaws and have some sort of character growth. And I don't really think this book has a lot of character growth. No shade, no tea. I just think that, like, and also the other thing is Beverly Jenkins has a formula and she sticks to it. You know, the dynamic between her couples are almost identical. So, like, if you like that dynamic, she has a ton of books for you to go back and read. But, like, I want variety and difference and, like, a different dynamic between my main couples. So I think Beverly Jenkins is an author I will keep reading from, but I need to take breaks from her just so I can read other books in between that have different romance dynamics. Hi, Boogie. You're not invited to the salad chit chat that we're having. No. And then unfortunately I'm giving up on Nimona, not because I think it's bad, but I'm just having a hard, if I had a physical copy of this, I could read it, but the way that it's formatted on the ebook and I can't really like zoom in, it's just, I can't handle it. So I'm gonna give up. I'm gonna start reading something else. And so that means this is the end of the vlog. Thank you so much for watching, sticking around with me during the work week. I'm exhausted, but I appreciate you. See you later. Bye.